Hey guys, Matthew here. It's been a while, I know. There is the one upload of Apex Legends, that one very obvious cheater, but ever since, nothing more from Path of Exile, but we're back. We're actually back on Path of Exile, and I'm actually really enjoying the game, and I'm playing it a lot. That being said, I'm actually on standard. Why is that? Well, simple enough. I personally got into synthesis about 2 weeks late into the league, maybe even 3 weeks, something like that. It was pretty damn late into the league. And I leveled up, got to like level 84, I believe, in like 2 days, and realized I just wasn't having fun. I think the loot has been severely changed or nerfed. The loot drops, the loot explosions that I was having so much fun seeing in Incursion, like doing Alva and having like hundreds of items just popping out. Even if I picked up literally none of them, it was just fun and it felt rewarding. Well, now, obviously I didn't have anywhere as much quantity, but I felt like I could go an entire map and I'd come out of the map with like two rare items that were obviously trash and like maybe an alchemy and like a fusing. It just didn't feel right. Maybe it was just me on a very long streak of bad luck. Maybe I was just being pessimistic about the league. I don't know, but I wasn't having fun. So I came to standard where obviously I had currency and decided to, fool around with some builds and whatever. Which got me to the point where I made like a full legacy MF quantity build with like headhunter, like legacy everything, Legacy Vinctar, even like just all the crazy stuff. And I set up to farm some Elder Lair with Elder right next to it for a permanent ping pong effective Shaper Elder. Got really lucky with the spawn there. And still, I wasn't even sustaining my maps despite the fact that I was, using chisels, valing the maps, um, using sack frags, using three sextants, everything I felt like I could use, I was using, and I wasn't even sustaining the maps. Like I'm talking, not even close. I'd have to buy some every so often, and they were like 30 C a pop. So every time I'd run a map for 30 chaos and didn't get anything back, well, I was 30 chaos in the red, which just wasn't fun either. So I don't know what happened to maps. I don't know if they nerfed map returns. I don't know if they nerfed drops in general, but mapping just did not feel good for me, despite the fact that I had over 200% quantity on my gear. So I started looking into it, was like, what else could I do? What else have I never done? And I was like, maybe bossing. Bossing could be fun. I've never done bossing. I'll chase Uber Elder and whatever and all that good stuff. And then I stumbled up on a video of MBX Extreme, I think is his name, on YouTube. Path of Exile streamer, great guy, YouTuber as well. On an Uberlab Blade Vortex build made by some man named Keed. So I was like, you know what? I'll try that. So I tried it. And then I was getting times that were not bad if we were to look previous Uberlab days. If I go back about maybe 5 days, I was running that build, the Blade Vortex build, and I was getting like not bad times, as you can see. It's not awful, but it wasn't good. Like it wasn't top 5, it wasn't top 10. It wasn't good. So I started looking into it and was like, how do people, get these kind of times of like 2 minutes? Um and then I found out that you can skip the boss phases on Izaro. What that means is basically whenever Izaro comes out of his hole, you can, if you do enough damage fast enough, you can completely negate him even being there, and you can skip the phase and save yourself 15-20 seconds per phase twice for a total of 30 seconds. But then I wasn't anywhere near as fast enough, so I optimized the build a little bit and decided to invest heavily into it, and ended up, as you can see today, I'm currently rank 1. That being said, it's not really the case. Because Devoided has not currently ran any lab, but I'm 100% sure the moment Devoided gets on, I will be dethroned. Because he's running a reverse chilled build with probably about 1000% movement speed. with what may be a bugged phase run gem of 90% quality. That's all speculation though, but I know he is much better gear, much more invested in the build, and I know how to reach these kind of times. I know how to cut my times by a good 30 seconds. I'm just not willing to invest that much, and the playstyle is really clunky. I like a safer playstyle, which is just more, brain dead. I can just farm lab after lab after lab. The man himself, keyed yesterday, was 2 seconds behind me, so I was actually pretty lucky. The student beat the master by 2 seconds. I'll be linking basically a link in the description to Keith's guide. He basically made a guide on the build I'm currently using, which is basically copy pasted from his build. And it's very cheap. You can start using it like day 2 of a league for something like 50 chaos, which is amazing. And the more you invest, the more speed you get, and the more damage you get, and the safer it becomes, and the more fun it becomes. Um, because on standard, honestly, there simply are not a lot of things that will net you some currency. Mapping is just not great, unfortunately. Boss killing is a gamble. I mean, so is Uber Lab in terms of enchants, but there's the keys, there's the full key runs and dark shrines and stuff. So it feels a little bit more reliable. I've been making, I don't know, 10, 20, 30, 40x a day running Uber Lab, and I'm not running that many. So I think it's definitely some good money, and that's without any enchants because I'm trying to get Tornado Shot 2 secondary projectiles on this helmet, and I haven't even gotten it yet. So all this money I told you guys about from Uber Lab was actually mostly just from gems. 5 chaos gems, 10 chaos gems, and then some more expensive, 40, 50, 90 chaos gems, stuff like that. Which drops from the chests at the end, and then some currency drop, some 6 links, actually quite a bit of 6 links, some sacrifice fragments, which you can sell into sets, etc., etc. So I've been making a good bit of money, and none of it has been from enchants. So in reality, if I was to, enchant something like Shaper eye level 86 Hubris circuits, or some eye level 84 shaped Hubris circuits or whatever, um, I could be getting an extra 2, 3, 4, 5 exalts every, 10, 20 labs whenever you hit a half decent enchant worth an exalt or two. 3 exalts, 5 exalts, and then the really good ones for like 10 exalts, and so on and so forth. So it's definitely something to consider. If you can make a character like this, like I said, the initial investment is super low, but you can scale it to infinity and beyond. But the initial investment is very low, and it's very fun, it's fast. If you're bored of like just constantly mapping and want something new, give it a shot. As I said, I'll link the build in the description to Keith's guide. Just follow his guide. It's really simple. It's very straightforward. You can start running it at about level 80 with something like 450% movement speed. So obviously you're not quite on this level, but the investment is so low that it doesn't matter. So I guess before I end the video, I'll show you guys quickly just what it looks like to play the build. Because it is a different playstyle. It is fast at the very least. You're not really used to playing that when you're used to mapping, just going this fast and getting stuck indoors and nails or whatever, spikes you want to call them. So this is already, I can already tell this is slow run. I'm about 4 seconds behind from messing up opening my doors and stuff. But that's okay, because I'm filming, I'm not really concentrated. And my trap's just messed up. Oh, I somehow skipped, so that's good. This is what I meant by skipping the phases. As you see, he came out of his hole for like a second and went right back in. Because the goal of the build is while you're going fast, you still want to do enough damage to bring him down to the threshold of damage needed or required for him to completely just go away without fighting back, saving you, numerous seconds. Oh man, I'm doing awful on this door opening right now. This is probably where I lose the most time when it comes to Uber Lab running, is opening doors. Oh wow, am I gonna die? Maybe, maybe not. Oh, we got lucky. It's not the safest build ever, I'll tell you that much. But it's fast, and it's fun to use. And like I said, it's not the fastest build ever either, but that's also okay because the investment required is extremely low compared to some other builds, and it still, does the job, which is kind of what it matters. What matters the most, at least in my opinion. Um, I'm using this trusty tool called Lab Compass, available on poelab.com. It's, you know, not necessarily supported, but it's definitely tolerated by the devs. It's not you'll ever get banned or anything for using it. There's nothing wrong with it. Basically, what it does is outlines where you have to go. It's basically a compass. As you can see, the green shows where I gotta go. Um, and sometimes it'll go as far as showing you an outline of the layout. It will never show you the actual layout. It's not a map hack, anything like that. You still have to figure out the best possible route yourself, and that comes with obviously practice and whatnot. Uh, and this is a slow run, not gonna lie. Pretty damn slow run. But that's okay, because obviously I'm trying to talk and stuff through it. Still gonna be sub 3 minutes. Oh, I messed up royally here. Okay, we lived. That's good. So as you can see, sub 3 minute runs. That wasn't great loot. And then a nice little enchant. Boom, smoke mine duration. That's awful. Well, it's good, but not for that helmet. So yeah, gonna link a link in the description to the build if you guys are interested in trying this kind of build out. As you saw, it runs the lab in like 3 minutes with extremely low amounts of investments. You can be looking at something like 3-minute 30, maybe 4-minute runs, which is actually still incredibly fast considering the investment and the fact that you can scale it into infinity. You're not going to require 6-link, and if you want to go that route, just get yourself a tabula. And yeah, like I said, everything's going to be in the build guide. Um, so Matthew's back, at least for now. Be sure to let me know in the description if you're interested in any type of video, build guides, currency flipping, whatever it is. Definitely gonna look into it, see what I can do. And otherwise, it's gonna be Matthew signing out. I'm glad to be back. Glad to be actually enjoying the game again. And yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying it too. Hopefully you're not as sad with the league as I was. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.